Hey guys, it's your fearless leader. I'm JJJJJ. So, I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope everyone is trying to stay sane. And yeah, happy Pride Month to you, everyone. To you, everyone. That didn't make sense. Hope you guys are celebrating in the best way. You guys know how. During this quarantine, I would suggest just getting old streamers and getting a cake delivered or whatever you guys want to do to support or to celebrate Pride Month, because it's a big month for me, I know that. And usually I'm not around right now. Usually I'm off at events doing the Pride thing. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about what it's like to be your own advocate. I know for me, it's been peaks and valleys. That's the best way to describe it. It's not been the highest of highs, and it's not been the lowest of lows, but it's been quite different than what I had expected. I had expected to be taken care of. I had expected to not have to pull my own weight, and I know that's not okay whatsoever. I know that's not in my best interest. I just know that that's probably the demise of my relationships, because I let them take control of things, because I let them take care of me, essentially. And you have to be able to take care of yourself. You have to be able to sit on all six wheels. You have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You have to know that in your heart of hearts, you are capable and you are knowledgeable. And if you're not knowledgeable about something that you need to do, like banking or housekeeping or whatever, you can just YouTube it or Google it. There's so many resources these days. You can do so much. You just gotta be you gotta be motivated to find those resources for yourself. 'Cause this is gonna be a little morbid, but in the end, it's just gonna be you, yourself, and you. It's not gonna be anybody else. You gotta find all those avenues that make your life easier. And if people don't agree with your view, then you have to be okay with that. But if they're really giving you pushback, and if they're really in the wrong, then you have every right to say, hey, look, here is my viewpoint. Here are some bullet points that I would like to discuss with you. Can we maturely resolve this in a manner that works for both of us? And if that doesn't work, I know it sounds childish, but just distance yourself from them. If hashing it out and talking it out isn't the way to go, then I don't know what is, and they're not meant to be a part of your life. Now, if it's somebody that helps you out, if it's somebody that you can't dispose of, for lack of a better term, I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but if you can't find somebody to replace them, then my best advice, and I'm new to this too, so know that this is coming from an amateur perspective and not an expert perspective. My advice is just to keep it very surface. Keep it to only what you need to tell them. Don't, and this is where I get really passionate, so bear with me. Don't let them win. Don't let them have the upper hand. If you know that their opinion is absolutely not based in fact, if you know that deep in your heart the answer is not what they're giving out, then just keep stuff surface. Keep it so that there's no conflict and that you guys can work in harmony, or at least in, what's the word I'm looking for? In cohesion. So you don't have to like everybody. But if you have to work with them, if you have to deal with their idiosyncrasies, then you just talk about the weather. If that's the only thing that's not a bone of contention, then talk about the weather. If you don't feel comfortable sharing stuff, then just make it more of a one-sided conversation and be a listener instead of lashing out and having an opinion with whatever they say. Because let's be honest, you already don't like them. You already don't get along with them. So why would you engage? Just let them talk about the weather. Let them talk about their kids. Let them talk whenever you guys are working together and get the task done, and then they can move on to whatever else they have to do that day. So don't engage. That's number one. Don't make it a dramatic situation. Because really, you don't have to. Really, you are in control of how you react to things. You're in control of how you come off to people. And I am horrible at this. I do not come off very well to people. I do not claim to be an angel when it comes to cooperation and when it comes to communication. Like, I am not the best when it comes to that. So take my advice with a grain of salt. Or if you're not in that position, if you're not in the position that I am, where you have to work with people, then I would highly suggest taking this podcast and sharing it with those people that really do value the stuff that I'm saying. And if you're an advocate, like, listening to this, bravo, thank you for clicking on this. Or thank you for subscribing, because I am not an expert, but it's lived experience. Like, I've lived this for at least 5 years, so, I know that's not very expert level of me yet. Ask me in 20 years, how the communication thing is going, and I will completely probably, blow this self out of the water. But yeah, to sum it up, just my top 5, okay? Try to write them a letter or something stating how you're feeling. And then try to find a time where it works for both of you to meet up and to, in a safe space. And it's probably good to have a mediator so you can be in that safe bubble and know that you're not going to get persecuted, and know that you will get your point across without there being any conflict. And number 2, just make the conversation one-sided. Make it so that you will not get in trouble. Make it so that whoever you're working with can't go back to their boss and say that you've said anything, because it was all one-sided. So they won't have a leg to stand on. They won't have any evidence that you have said anything, because you truly didn't. And that is my biggest and best tip that I have for you guys. My kind of mediocre tip is to distract. So, like, put on music. If there's nothing to talk about, music is the best way to go. Or, like, put on a podcast that you guys maybe both like. Or find a topic that is not based around what you guys have tension over. Find a topic that is neutral and just take it from there. Also, if you really don't get along with somebody, there's always higher ups. So just go to the higher ups. Give them all the evidence of what you've seen and what you've heard. And go from there. Just make sure that you have clear evidence that you... Okay, maybe in some instances, you did do something wrong. Maybe in some instances, you were the person at fault. But usually, if you're complaining, it's not because you did anything wrong. So I would have all the email threads, all the conversations stored in your brain, because I think it's a privacy law that you can't write any of it down unless you say, hey, look, I'm recording this. This is an injustice that you're putting on to me. So I will be recording this. And as long as they know that you're recording it, as long as they're aware and you're not secretly recording it, then everything should be kosher. So, yeah. And if you're not in a safe situation, if there's no reconciliation in sight, if there's no way to be an advocate for yourself, just the best way to be an advocate is to delegate it off to somebody that is able to be that authority, whether that be the higher ups in your job, whether that be the higher ups in the place where you live that you receive care, whether that be yourself and you can just go ahead and fire that person, whether that be whatever the case may be. And if it gets to the point where it's not even easy to do that, there's always the legal options. But hopefully with these tips you won't have to get that far, and you will be able to resolve it in a peaceful manner, and there might be a little bit of bad blood, but being your own advocate comes with a lot of battle scars. Being your own advocate is hard. It's hard because you are on your own. You are going into new territory that you've never gone into before. your you should feel empowered to know that you are your own advocate. You are the one that you can rely on, because in the end, you're not going to be able to rely on the people that you surround yourself with. You're not going to be able to rely on your spouse for the things that are directly affecting you. You're going to have to pull out the big kahunas and just buck up and get the job done, because you are your most powerful weapon. You have a voice, and don't forget that you can stand up for yourself in so many scenarios. And if I tried to list them all, then we'd be here all day. But I just want you guys to know that I am not an expert, like I said before. This is just my unbiased opinion of the things that some of them I have yet to try, but I will definitely be listening back to this and implementing some of these. And leave down below any tips if you're an advocate for somebody that has a disability or a different ability, what you taught them how to do, what they've taught you, being a first-hand person with a different ability. Just put those in the comments below, and let's keep this discussion going. Because though you may be your own advocate, you won't have all the answers. So let's build a little group to where you can go and you can ask questions, and they can be as simple as, where do I go for groceries? Where can I get physio from? If I'm new to the area, what are some fun places to hang out? It can be that kind of stuff. So just be your own advocate, whether it be in fun times or in trying times. Just, there's no other voice that should be heard except for yours. So I just want to close this out by saying that you need to love yourself enough to not rely on other people. You need to love yourself enough to where you can be your own foundation. Just don't give up. Don't give up on pursuing your dreams. Don't give up on having your own apartment, just because it gets hard sometimes. Don't give up on love. Don't give up on family. If it's toxic, yes, get rid of it. But don't count anything out, because you don't know what the future holds. And if you are an advocate, then thank you. Thank you to all those that are giving voices to the voiceless. Thank you to those that are helping us along the way and really giving us dignity in the process. So I'm going to close it out like I always do, and I'm going to say, go check out Minnie Mancino's channel. She's a fellow YouTuber and one of my best friends. She does very insightful minicasts on YouTube, and she kind of does what I do, but there's more of a visual aspect to what she does. She does Minecraft gaming situation, and yeah, so go over there and tell her that the Ability Warriors leader sent you, and show her some love. And as always, I post anywhere from Thursday to Sunday, so expect an episode in that time frame. I hope you guys gain some insight to my brain and the way it works. I hope you gained some knowledge to help you through this crazy time, and I hope that this will give you a warrior heart. I hope this will empower people to not stand on the sidelines, to not be so shy, to not be so isolated. I hope it reaches at least one of you guys and gives you that little sisterly push to keep going. So I will chat with you guys next week, and I love you all, and please stay safe and healthy, and I will talk to you next week. Alright, love you, Ability Warriors fam. Your Ability Warriors leader is now out.